Yo, what is going on, guys? So for the longest time now, I've had a weird relationship when it comes to the air conduction earphones, because for the most part I always used to underestimate them, and to be honest, I never knew what to expect, especially when it came to the sound quality. On top of that, they always looked gimmicky, but over that, my opinion on that has kind of evolved, but maybe not to the fullest extent. So these earphones I'll be looking at today is the Blitz Max air conduction earphones. Now these, again, just like any other pair of air conduction earphones, when it comes to putting them on, especially for me, someone who wears glasses, it's always a fight. It's always a battle and a hassle trying to get the perfect fit, because if you're someone that wears glasses already, that's a disclaimer for you. You're gonna have to do a lot of adjustment and a lot of adjusting when it comes to wearing the earphones. But even beyond that, when it comes to the case, just like the majority of air conduction earbuds, the case is always, I don't know what to say sometimes. The cases are usually on the larger end, and with this one there's no difference. But the thing about companies that do make air conduction earphones, they at least try to make the case as appealing as possible. So these ones on the inside, there's going to be the LED indicators, and it's going to show you the battery percentage of the case itself, and it's also going to show you the battery life for each earbud. Now that's a little redundant because for the most part the case is going to be shut or in your pocket anyways, so it really doesn't add too much, but at the end of the day, that's at least something to make it rather appealing for the average user. And even for the LED indicators, they're still visible even under direct light and even bright light. And besides that, being on the larger end of the earbuds case, this one actually is not that heavy, so it's good, at least given the fact that it's going to be on the bigger side, that is also not going to be weighing it down. And both sides of the earphones also can be used to pretty much control the audio of whatever you're watching. So now the reconnection speed, once the earphones have been paired to whatever device you're using, is really fast. But the sound bleeding is something else that I will also get into when it comes to these earphones. And also it has Bluetooth 5.3, which is something I always recommend because of the efficiency when it comes to your battery life. And also it's the most stable, and it's the latest Bluetooth version, and the battery life is also 60 hours in total, complete with the case, and the full playtime will last you about 10 hours. Now these numbers I'll take with a grain of salt per se, because it honestly is going to depend on how much you use the earphones, and honestly how long you use them for in one run. So give or take, it's gonna take you roughly around that time, but again, that's all dependent on the type of user that you are when it comes to using headphones. And there's also 4 microphones for enhanced call quality. It has built-in environmental noise cancellation. So when it comes to the sound quality, now this is where my opinion on air conduction earphones is first and most, because I always used to think that they were, to be honest, gimmicky looking. So the same thought process went into what type of sound quality I was expecting from it. The good thing about air conduction earphones is that they are more comfortable in the long run because they don't go into ear canals like ordinary earbuds. But on the flip side to that is, unfortunately, that the sound quality is not as immersive because it's not completely isolated, so you can still hear stuff in the background. Now these earphones hit on a lot of good points that a lot of air conduction earphones also do. The sound quality is great, but at the same time, a lot of air conduction earphones, the one issue I have with them is the immense sounding, and this is no different. This also has sound bleeding from the earphones. At least with these earphones, they design them in a way that once you put them on, that they will be flush with the ears, so the sound bleeding is going to minimize. Now the bass is one of the good selling parts about these earphones, because the bass is actually really deep, and it's really good. But unfortunately, when it comes to playing the audio to the higher extremes and to the high end, the bass starts to shake a little, and it starts to reverberate more to a point where it may feel uncomfortable. Also, when it comes to IP rating, I wasn't able to get one, but considering that it is a pair of air conduction earphones, I wouldn't say these are going to be highly rated on the IP scale. Overall, for me, it's still going to take a lot to change my mind when it comes to air conduction earphones. I mean, they do a lot of things well. They are comfortable, they provide good sound quality. It's just, I feel like they're missing it and I don't know exactly what it is. They need like a punchline. I feel like they are good, and especially for people that are outdoors people that like to go for runs and jogs. But as an everyday usage type of pair of earphones, I feel like air conduction earphones are just missing something that is just gonna take them over the hump. Now, for me, one thing I'd say is definitely the immersion, or when it comes to sound isolation. Of course, the point of them is still being aware, but they got to work on that. And on top of that is the sound bleeding. Sound bleeding is something that for me personally I find uncomfortable. I don't like to disturb people around me, and at the same time I don't like when people are able to hear what I'm listening to. If I'm on a phone call, if I'm just listening to a podcast or a video. So it's just a matter of personal preference in that regard. But for the most part, I still feel like there's something that is just missing for air conduction earphones to bring me over to the dark side. But then again, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. I'm JEDIJA, and I'm out.